It's easy to say, I wish I knew then what I knew now, what I know now. Because I didn't really appreciate it till I got older, you know. But I think that's just, that's just being young, you know. I think I've got to actually reflect on how lucky I was, how fortunate to get the opportunity to be in here without really knowing what I was doing, and be tolerated as well by other people who did know what they were doing. Very fortunate, you know, and be back here now, and it blows me away, really. Yeah, it's quite something,
and quite a journey that you've been through as well, sort of in the intervening years. And it's sort of to bring you to this point where you're doing something that's reflecting back on the past,
yeah,
and you're taking that into the future. I mean, what motivated you to do that, to take that?
Well, I think that it was funny. After I've got to mention this because it's true. You know, I don't want to be too. I don't want to. I can disclose about this. I think once I got clean from drugs, I was really badly messed up on drugs. I was able to then, after a period of time, I was able to sort of reflect on career things, and having had lots of, good productions and good recordings with lots of high-ranking artists, over many, many years. And I was able to think about this, and I was able to think more and more about that tour we did. I never forgot it, the Discovery Tour in 1984. Being actually in it, actually on the stage, and being surrounded by that light show and everything, the music, everything about it is like, I don't know, it's just like being transported into another world, I suppose. Except that I at the time, just being young, I partied and I enjoyed it as best as I could, and I learned a lot. But I didn't truly appreciate it until many years later. And then I thought, I had this sort of wistful thought that, oh God, I wish I could do that again. I really wish I could do that again. And then after I met the fans, Mike Oldfield fans, what I call the sort of hardcore fans, your super fans, if you like, at the Tubular Bells convention in 2013, the 40th, I believe. It's the first time I'd been invited to anything like that. It was really nice. I thought, oh God, there's all these people out there, that still want this thing. And maybe I was a bit out of touch. I don't really know. I was still listening to the records. 2013, what was I doing? I was doing my Hep C work and stuff, and doing a few sessions here and there. But I thought, I started to think, I just wonder if I could get a band that could play that stuff again, and if anybody would be interested in it. Just wondered. And then the fact that we're starting out doing it today, and I'm talking to you now, today, is a result of having most of last year off to think about it, because I had pneumonia. And I was still running around, like doing loads of gigs and flying places, and just living a really crazy life. And I was still living like I was 30, but I wasn't. I was actually 60 when I got ill. And it was then it came to me, and I thought, you know what? Why don't I just drop everything and think about getting a bunch of people who'd really like to do this, a bunch of appropriate people that were capable. Not all the old guys. And that's no reflection on the old guys, because I just thought, I just wanted to make it newer, if you like, newer or different, get some faces that people didn't know. Okay, it's all right for people to say, well, they know me, but you could know me from any number of projects, not just Mike Oldfield. You could know me from 10, 12, 15 or 20 other different things. I've just been this sort of turned up like a bad penny, continuously for the last 4 decades, And so it wasn't me so much. It was getting other people that were first of all capable, second that were into it, and the third that would actually give their time to actually see that there could be a future in this, And here we are today. You know, that's it. I don't know. I don't know if I can answer any more to that one really. You know, because at the moment it's a little kind of bit by bit. It seems to be growing legs and arms slowly. It's been like a what do they call that thing that frogs turn into? What do they call them? What are frogs before they become
Tadpoles.
frogs? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, tadpoles. Yeah, it's like a tadpole that's slowly turning into a frog. How can I say it? It's the only thing. It's the only thing I can think of at the moment. It is turning into a frog, not an ugly frog. It's a lovely one, you know, because I think I've primarily, you know, there were loads of musicians. I have asked loads of musicians, but then most good musicians, lots of them are doing other things. They're not available, or maybe they can't give it the time for one reason or another. But it was getting a singer who could do the songs justice. And one thing I wanted to do, I thought, primarily, my first thought, without the symphonic pieces, was what about a gig of the songs? Because I was going through the albums, you know, I've got most of them. I was going through the albums at home, and I was thinking, oh, is this song there, that song there? And I thought, do you know, it's a lot of songs in this catalogue. And then going back to 1984, I realised how many songs we did, because when we did Discovery, we did it with all the songs seed into one another. We did one after the other, after the other, after the other, you know. We did loads of songs like they were on the album. And I thought, I wonder if I could do a gig which is more like, if you like, sort of poppy, rocky gig, where it was a gig of songs as opposed to a gig of us all, you know, doing this long symphonic piece for 28 minutes and standing there and finishing it and everyone keeping quiet, getting up and clapping, all the rest of it, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so having got the songs together, the obvious songs, which are the songs from Crises and Discovery, with a couple of others from 5 Miles Out, and I had a look at Blue Night as well. I think is worth doing as well. Something I knew from a later album that I'm on, something that Maggie sang. And then I thought, oh yeah, now there's room for. Now I can see how we can do the songs, and we can do Crises, the long piece, and we can do Discovery, the long piece, and it can almost be pieced together in the same way as it was pieced together in 1984. So that might answer one of the later questions you've got there actually, but it's kind of, I've kind of shape it like that. It can't be exactly like that, and that's because of length of time of singing, because I had to find a singer who could sing the songs that, the male songs, okay, who could sing, who had a pitch that could deliver at the male pitch. But if you know Mike's composing, he's always composed songs for women to sing. Always, 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 always. You know, very, very rarely going back. If you go back all the albums, there's not many men that sing on his stuff. So the stuff's always quite high. So a woman with a good range can sing the high range of a man quite easily. And it was finding the singer, and I think I found the singer, someone I knew a long time ago, Belle. I've known her for a long time. And then the time just happened. It was like the waves opening up. You know, the time just opened up, and I thought, what am I going to do? I don't want to do all this running around. It's driving me crazy. And I thought, well, okay, you know, I could write the book I've been promising to write, which I've got bits and pieces of. You know, I can do a bit of teaching, which I don't mind doing. That's fun with kids and stuff like that. And I thought, if I want to really get my teeth into something, why don't I really get my teeth into this and do it from the ground up, own it as well, and do it to the standard I know it must be done as well, because it must be done, I think, to a very high standard. And I can say that because I remember standing in the middle of it all while it was all going on. You might think it's strange that I actually remember it, but I do remember it. And the clips there that you see on the internet it gives the evidence of it as well. You know that it was it's a very, very high standard. So I've got the nucleus of a bunch of people who want to do it and are good enough to do it. What else can I say? I'm very, very lucky. You're lucky to get a nucleus of people that are into it enough and also can see far enough ahead, as in, if we put the work into it, we will not only be able to play some great music, we'll also be able to play, we're not necessarily nailed down to one artist's music. We can play other artists' music, maybe. We can also play our own music, and I think we've got a great front person as well as a singer. You know, so it could be. My brain's gone crazy with all the thoughts, all the opportunities that we could have. But right here, we're today trying to do this. I know that, but I mean, it's me. It's my brain in my head. Like we've won the lottery, you know, and stuff. You know, it's very unrealistic thinking. So yeah, there you go.
And where do you think you'd like to take it? Because, you know, Mike made it very successful, the music made it very successful, and here you are trying to recreate that music. I mean, where would you like to see the PSO, say, in 6 months, 12 months' time? What would that mean to you?
I think that there's no reason why this band can't go on tour. Not at all. Not when I see all the other things that are on tour. No, I think we've got to start. I think we've got to prove ourselves. Obviously, it's nice to be able to play for the fans. It's something that we've talked about, which is good because that's from them we get the basic support. The first support is from them. That's where the people start whispering to each other and telling each other, you know. And I'm pretty sure that we can do something that will leave people happy and satisfied. But I don't see why we can't go on tour. I mean, there were loads and loads of people. I just hear every single day, you know, my social media is rattling with people talking about this stuff, and there's been, I must say, solid interest from other countries. I think we've just got to get it in front of the right people. To begin with, it's the fans, but I also think that, you know, I've met a lot of fans, been to some other conventions in Europe, of young people that never saw it live because they were too young. Yeah, what about all those people? Wouldn't they like to come and see it? You know, even if you started off in something like, you know, art centres and small theatres. You know, why not just work it up as a band? You know, and as I said, you know, I think we've got a singer who looks great, sings great, and actually gives us different options moving into the future. But I seriously think we could go on tour. I mean, not like I couldn't imagine going away for 6 months and playing 6 nights a week. I think that would actually kill me these days. So yeah, for maybe 2 weeks at a time would be okay, you know. But why not? You know, why not? I see that so many. Let's say I don't like saying this word, but I'm going to have to say it because otherwise I can't describe it. Tribute bands, okay, who are making a living and doing gigs out of playing the music of another band or another artist. Now, I didn't want to be known as a tribute band. I think we can put our own spin on things, and I've certainly not been in tribute bands because I saw, funny enough, I saw a band, talking about tribute bands, I saw a band in Glasgow a couple of weeks ago who were playing things that I'd played on, and they were actually playing things that I'd played on. And I thought, wow, this is a funny old world, you know, you're going around and there's this band, they were actually playing covers, and there was quite a few things. And I was with my friends and I said, my God, there's another one I played on. They're playing on all these songs, they're playing all these songs. There's no reason why something like this with good quality, if it's calculated, I must say calculated, and managed in the right way, that we can't turn it into a touring operation and put it in front of people who really want to see it. I think the market's there. It's just got to be managed the right way. I don't think it's hit or miss. I think it must be calculated. You must go, we're going to go here because we're going to see so and so, and they're going to come and see us, and we're going to do this, that, and the other, etc., etc., etc. If the plan's good and solid, and we get to work with the right people, I would really like to see us taking it around as much as we could. You know, not just a one-off here and a one-off there. Why not? There's plenty of people playing a real lot. Why shouldn't we play? This stuff's really, really lovely. The guys here, they love playing it. Ever since we started knocking around together and learning the songs, they're going, my God, there's something about this stuff. It's really catchy. And I said, yeah, it is really catchy. It drives me mad, actually. You know, it keeps me up at night. And I go to bed thinking about it, and I wake up thinking about it. And I even think about it when I'm having my nap in the afternoon. It's still one of these bloody songs going through my head. And I think it's a subliminal thing. You know, that's the thing about Mike's music, is that it really gets into your soul. You know, it really, really does. Where, you know, I mean, all those people that were coming to see those shows in 1984, and there were some big crowds, really, really big crowds. You know, we played in some football stadiums in some places, 83. I think the most people we played to was 55,000. And then there was, I don't know, the smallest was maybe, I don't know, 5,000 or something like that. But you're talking about thousands every night. You know, thousands, 20,000 here, and then 15,000 there, 7,000 there, and then 25,000 there, you know. I mean, even if 5% of those people wanted to come back and see it, I think we'd be doing okay, you know. But I think there's a lot of new people to reach, I'm sure.
You mentioned there that you know, the role of the singer is vitally important, and it is for being able to connect with the people listening to the music. And Mike's music is known to be, in some respects, quite complex, quite demanding to play. How did you select the group of people that you're initially working with?
Well, in fact, I kind of fished around a little bit, and I was a little bit disingenuous with a few of my friends, because I didn't want to ask them too directly in case they thought, oh, you know, I'm in and I've got this and what have you. I was fishing around a little bit for people that showed more than just a passing, oh, well, give me a call and if I'm free, I'll come along. You know, that wasn't for me. You know, I wanted people that were going to go, oh, yeah, I really get the idea. Right? It sounds really, really interesting. Yeah, I'd be interested. What are you thinking about doing? And of course, I would say to people, with the group of people we've got, with respect, we have to work around other things that they're doing, obviously, you know. For example, Belle's got kids, so we've got to work around that. So we wanted it to be like family-like as well, you know, so we're not all driving ourselves just insane. And, you know, back in the days, so 30 plus years ago, it would be this and nothing else. You know, we'd have nothing else in our lives. We'd just be this, drinking, and probably for some of us drug taking and lots of other party type things, if you like, and nothing else in your life. These days, you know, most of us got families and, you know, and got other things we want to do. So with respect to the band, I said, let's do it, but let's not kill ourselves doing it, because we don't have to. As I said, we could calculate something, so we've got a month's work where we nip around to a few places. God knows how many you can do in a month, I don't know, maybe 15, maybe 20, whatever. And then, you know, we stay in touch, and then we get the next 2 weeks' work together for 6 weeks after that, so that other people have got a chance to actually live. And also I need to live myself as well. As I said, this is, for me, trying to make this work is really an ambition which I could possibly make my last ambition in this business, in this career, I think. You know, after 46 years, it's a long time doing it, you know. It's a very, very long time doing it. And so I thought, well, if I was going to do this, it's going to need all my energy, all my own energy. So I'm trying as best I can, without becoming too impoverished, if you like, to bat away all the other things that might come my way, and put energy into this, energy and resources as well into this. And you know, I mean, it might tick over, it might go. If it goes, we might have a band that's got a career for 2 or 3 years, even more. But we can take it at our own pace, so that we're all getting on. We're not in each other's pockets for weeks on end and end up hating each other. I've done all that, you know, with plenty of artists and plenty of bands. We're not in studios for weeks on end doing 14 hours a day, and you know the days of that are over. You know, I want this, and with the group of people, going back to what you asked about the group of people, I think we've got a happy group of people who are reasonable. They're sober, as in sober-minded, and they're prepared to work hard, and that's okay, because it is hard work. There's no getting away from that. It's hard work, And I think I've got a really good core of people that are prepared to do that, and I hope you've seen some of that today, because you've seen today how we've had to compromise already on a few things and bat a few things around and do this, and you guys knocking around and all the rest of it. And yeah, I just tell them guys, explain it to them, and they go, yeah, okay, that's fine, yeah, let's get on with it. You know, there's no there's not this, this intensity like where we've really got to really sort of kill ourselves, to do it. I want it to be, we do the hard work is in the beginning, getting all the songs together, rehearsing, making sure they all work. Maybe some won't work. Maybe we'll do some others we didn't plan on doing. Getting it all together, rehearsing, all the hard work will be done, and then we can have a good time with it. But relax, a relaxed good time so that we're all happy, and we're not shoved together in a little van driving from one country to the next on 15-hour drives. I'm sorry, I've done too much of that. I'm not going to do that anymore. So, and you see, that will require some good management and some good audiences as well to facilitate us being able to do a tour at a reasonable level. So that's where the hard work's got to come in, because I've seen too many of my friends my age have really affected their health doing those tours in little vans and stuff. It's the kind of stuff we used to do when we were 17. When you were 17, it was great fun, and you didn't give a hoot. You was like, yeah, okay, let's go. We'll just take some speed. It doesn't matter if we sleep or not, and it doesn't matter if we've got any food, and relaxed, professional. Professional as well. I was very nervous about coming today. It was the first time we'd really played together, kind of electrified, so to speak, with everything turned on. And I was nervous about coming here. I had a lot of emotional memories. I woke up this morning, I was like in real emotional turmoil on the way here, and I really needed to start playing to get it out, And now I'm just tired. Having the support of the guys as well, and they let me go on, and as you can see, I can go on and on and on and on. They just take the piss out of me, which is good, which means that I'm probably talking too much, and I think, oh, okay, I better keep quiet. I don't go, oh yeah, like I used to go, hey, what are you talking about? I'd be up for a fight. No, I don't anymore. I think, oh yeah, they've probably got a point, before you tell me to shut up. So,
from what we heard so far, it's sounding really good. Can the people coming along expect any of the symphonic pieces and maybe one or two surprises, perhaps?
Yeah. I'd like to do the symphonic pieces from Crises and Discovery, because they're the ones I was really involved with. Actually, I mean, my heart's really in those. I mean, I was into some of Mike's stuff before that when I was younger, as a listener, as a young listener. But the stuff I was really involved in helping build, but certainly take out live, Crises as a piece was lovely. I used to love playing that middle quiet piece when we both played the harmony guitars. I mean, if you've done that, and I did it like night after night with him for 2 whole tours, for 2 summers. I mean, I really want to do that again. I really want to do that. It's a shame Mike doesn't want to do it. But, I don't blame him. He's worked hard for 50 years. And if he's on an island with the sun, reading his newspaper under a palm tree with the sea lapping at his feet, I think I'd be there in a heartbeat. Actually, after 46 years in this business, I don't blame him one bit. Because when he worked, he really worked. He could work, talk about being tired. And that was one of the things I learned from him, which was total commitment. Total commitment, real commitment, And I'm saying, okay, it's got to be fun and we've got to be relaxed and stuff. It doesn't mean we have to be any less committed, So, yeah, the symphonic pieces, yeah. Crises, Discovery, I love. I still, when I get really carried away, I still, the end of Discovery still makes me cry. When I play it and when I listen to it. I got to play it in front of the German fan club over in in Saxony last June. I had some stuff made up and I was able to play along with it as well. And then you kind of get your head in the space where, I can do that being a sort of a fantasist, by nature. I can put myself in a stadium full of people and think about doing that. And all of a sudden I'm there in front of all these people, my eyes closed, and the next thing you know, I'm in tears. Why does that happen? How does that happen? The tears are real. That's real. That's really deep. That's profound. And it doesn't happen to me with much stuff. There's some stuff maybe it does. That particular stuff, because I know where I've been there and I've played it, that can really do it to me. It can actually get to my raw soul, and that's why I think everybody loves it, because it touches people deep inside, and not a lot of music does. We've got a lot of poppy music, lots of music with sort of got lots of artificial fronts, lots of sweet pop songs and stuff like this, But this stuff will get to you, I think, more like if you like Beethoven or Mozart or any of those popular classical composers, yeah, can certainly still. I can easily cry playing. I don't know, even to France actually can bring me to tears. Yeah, quite a few things actually. If I go through the list, and if I go through the list of loads and loads of other stuff that I've done, and I've done a hell of a lot of stuff. It does that's the only stuff that really does it to me. Really does it to me, and I think that says something about the music. It says something about me. I'm obviously quite a softie, and I'm a very emotional person, which I hide in various ways. But the reality is that when I'm doing this, when I'm playing one of these, that's when you probably see the real me. If I'm playing at the end of the lake, with those beautiful bass parts and stuff, I can feel it now. Oh, I can't help it. It's incredible. And you've got a band and this music, especially the dynamics as well, coming out of quiet stuff and having a band, especially with Mike was always like a conductor. He didn't literally do it with his hands, but he was very, very powerful presence, a very powerful presence, and he could almost conduct with his mind control, if you like, and when someone can conduct the band into a crescendo like that, which can move people like that, and it was funny because playing in front of these German guys, I was doing that, and I thought, my God, I'm going here. I've really gone, and I just thought, oh, and I'll just let the tears flow. And next thing you know, there's loads of people in front of me crying too. It's quite funny, and it's a beautiful thing, because it's real feelings, it's real feelings. I've never known any other stuff, Paul. Really, all the stuff I've done, I've never known any other stuff to consistently bring out those feelings in people. There you go. That was a convoluted answer, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a good one. Thanks. I think on that note.
Yeah.
That was good. Thanks.
I just don't real